So we're gonna swap to a radio station based on some Coulter Wall. Gonna lurk? No worries, buddy. Have fun. Take care of whatever you gotta take care of. No worries. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Are you streaming tonight? Oh, that cake stuff is really good. Oh, come on. Taking the day off because yesterday's stream spilled over to today's. Got my hours for today's stream. That's fair. That makes sense. Ooh. That sugar's hurting my teeth. That's why I don't eat chocolate very often. Plus I need a day off. Hey, I feel that. I stream daily, so I definitely feel that. Been streaming a lot? Hey man, tell me about it. Try to avoid sugar as much as possible, but that's just me. It's definitely valid. Yeah, I stream daily. I need to get back into I say get back into. I need to start making TikToks so I can start like promoting my stream and stuff because I have a bad habit of not doing that. And honestly, I feel like that's a big reason why my page isn't like growing very much. Also, no worries. Take your time, man. Have fun. We'll talk later. Try to edit TikTok videos whenever I can. Yeah, it just gets really tiring sometimes. Just been networking with streamers, editing videos and streaming. Yeah. That's what I usually do. I usually edit my stuff and post the VOD highlights on Twitter or on YouTube. And then that's where I... Just because, like, editing the TikToks takes so much extra time. And trying to fit them into the 9:16 ratio thing is so annoying. And like dealing with the webcam quality downscaling and like all that stuff. It's so annoying. I figured out a trick recently that I'm working on trying. And if it works, I'll let you know. If it works all right, I'll let you know. But regardless, thank you. I appreciate the lurk. Thanks for chatting with me for a minute. I like the little lurk emote. You're awesome. Nah, man, that's all you. I appreciate it. We're blowing right through this shit. I still got my blinker on. You're a pretty chill guy. Hey man, you as well. I appreciate the kind words. We'll definitely have to play COD again sometime soon. And if you catch me off stream sometime, I'll yeah, just message me on Discord. I'll send you. I meant to have you message me before on Discord so I could send you some resources on like how to set up noise equalizers and stuff. To be fair, that's pretty much all Googleable. But I like to be helpful when I can. Excuse me. Something real quick. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Driving like crap right now. Traffic around me is just gonna have to deal with it. All right, you guys can go ahead and pass me now. I'll let you guys pass. Uh-oh, did I cut him off? I hope I didn't cut that guy off. I feel like an asshole. Oh, shit. Bad time for a merge lane. I gotta pass you on the right, buddy. You know what? You too. Not slowing down for y'all, buckos. Oh shit. My bad. It happens. Meow. My bad, y'all. Oh, we're actually low on gas. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Oh, shit. Let's go. Go ahead and turn the motor off. I'm gonna run inside this gas station and grab a drink real quick. I went into this gas station right here. Grabbed myself a couple drinks for the stream. We got ourselves a Monster Kiwi Strawberry. Got ourselves a Monster Strawberry. And a sweet tea. So, I put these in my passenger seat. Ah, we're good to go. Let's go get the truck turned on. Let's go ahead and get moving. Oh, that Supra was in my way, dude. Shouldn't have pulled so far forward. Not my fault. Stepdaddy, what's up, baby? We just got some drinks and pizza from that gas station back there. Pretty fucking good, man. Now we're blasting our country, driving down the highway. You know what it is. Ah, shit. I can't be texting and driving, man. I'm gonna get myself in some trouble. Stepdaddy, when are you gonna get this game and play with me, man? When did you get a wheel? Man, like 2 years ago. I just haven't played with the wheel in a while. I had to get one replaced last year. The starter motor burnt out in the one I had before it. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Ah. Oh, no. I can't see. I can't see. Ah. I can't see, man. Ah. Oh, shit. All right, we're gonna put a parking brake on real quick. I'm gonna clip that. Shit, I still can't see past this fucking sign, dude. Come on, get that shit out of here. I can't get off my truck. Ah, is the fucking... Is the side like... shit. That shit is stuck in my bumper. How did we manage that? I gotta get a picture of that, man. How do I get up here? Man. Never seen it though. Yeah, so I had some issues. The previous one that I had, the starter motor burnt out on it. And so I had contacted Logitech and they were like, yeah, well, we'll replace it. And then it took them it took them like 9 months to replace it under warranty. Which was fucking disappointing to say the least. Worst fucking customer service experience I've ever had. Like, genuinely worst. So bad. And then I moved my room twice. And rearranged and had all that. And yeah, so I had it all rearranged and everything. And then I was ready to do a driving stream with the wheel, and then the shit happened with my PC. I don't know if I told you about that. Where like my PC shit the bed and I had to like factory reset everything basically. And when I did that, it like reset all my wheel driving settings and all my mods, and I had to turn all my mods back on for truck sim and stuff and get all like, oh shit, the pole is coming off. The pole's coming off. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, let's go. But yeah, I had to get all like I've got like my, you know, my signals and my horn. If I like accidentally move that, I can reset my thing. I can turn my lights on and stuff. All that shit. So yeah, I mean, I can shift with everything. It was just, I had to get all that shit reset up. Oh, I've even got windshield wipers on my wheel. That's pretty tight. I don't remember what some of these buttons do. But yeah, it was just a bitch. I didn't feel like having to redo all of it. And so I just didn't. Didn't feel like it, so I didn't do it. And yeah, unfortunately, that held me back for a very long time. But the other day, I got caught up on the VODs that I needed to edit and stuff, so I was like, fuck it. I'll just spend like an hour setting everything up. I got it all set up though, so pretty tight. Oh my god. I almost just killed that guy. Whoops. But yeah, man, if you have this game, we should play together. I think that would be a ton of fun. I don't have it? Bro, grab that shit. Go on G2A and check if there's any keys for it. Oh, my phone alarm is going off. Because I normally start the stream at 9. So I have alarms that make sure I'm awake at 8:30 and 8:45 on both of my phones. And yeah, those alarms, my wake the fuck up alarms are starting to go off. But I went early. I went live earlier today just because I felt like it. I started at like 7:30 or 7:45. It's only $5 on Steam. Man, I'll tell you what. Having all of the DLC is worth it. If you can get like the Gold Coast bundle, the Pacific Northwest bundle, and whatever bundle has like Oklahoma and Texas, like they're worth it, dude. I'm about to grab the Montana pack as well. That shit is gorgeous, dude. And like Idaho, oh my god, Idaho is gorgeous. Like the mountains and shit out there. Oh, so pretty. Now I'm drinking and driving. Oh my god. Let's see. Let's get this thing parked. There we go. There we go. Turn the truck off. Park and brake on. Nope. Before we do that, park and brake on. All right. Let's see. Where am I going? Where am I going? Let's go ahead and get this thing moving. Can't see shit. Am I good to pull out over here? I'm good to pull out. Let's pull this thing wide. Let's pull this thing very, very wide. How we looking? How we looking? All right, let's go. Love to see it. My like, oh, it's because I don't have I have my centering set kind of low a little bit. Just because. Yeah. Just because it's lower, low speed doesn't require a lot of centering because you're going lower speed. Oh, please don't hit that car. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I should see where gas is at. It might be worth getting gas on my way out of this town. This is going to be the Walmart that we're picking up at, though. Let's go ahead and swing just a little bit wide. Oh, shit, shit, shit. All right, don't hit the pole, don't hit the pole. Yeah, let's go. All right, how we going here? All right, cool, we're clear on the trailer. Ain't no way the rest of the come on, you can't get caught on the last foot of the fucking trailer, man. That's fucked up. Come on, come on, come on. How am I gonna get caught on the last, like, half a foot of freaking... Oh! That just scared the shit out of me. Oh, ow. Dude, that, like, literally shocked me to my core, my freaking chest. Sparks, thanks for bringing a raid. Oh, my freaking... Dude, my, like... I, like, tightened up when I heard the thing pop up because I have it set too loud. It scared the shit out of me. Oh, I missed the parking spot for this. Hello, everybody. Chance, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to the shit show. Oh, my chest, dude. That actually kind of hurts. Yeah, here you go. Wybit, here's my truck. I own all of this. This is my $140,000 trailer set. Actually, the truck is $140,000. I am scared to know how much the truck is $100,000 and... Oh, a new one. The truck is $100,000 and some odd crazy. It's too much money to comprehend. The trailers are so much more. Oh, it's so loud. I know. Wybit says you have the best emotes, honey. Thank you. I drew them myself. Fun fact, I drew all of them myself, including the really shitty one with the question mark that looks kind of awkward and doesn't match any of the other ones. It is what it is, though. Also, oh, another one. Let's get this off. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the shit show, Swell Gecko and Miss Amy 97. Thank you so much, guys. You guys missed it earlier. I stopped at a different gas station and got myself some drinks. We got ourselves some sweet tea and some energy drinks, and my camera's not supposed to be on tracking mode right now. I don't know why it's doing that. Stop, please. Thank you. Thanks so much for the follow, Ace Llama. Welcome to the shit show. Thanks for hanging out. Also, Retro Wrath, thank you so much for the sub. I completely missed that. Some Spark viewers have made a rat cult. Interesting. Is that what the Omga? Oh, I didn't even get gas. You guys got me distracted. Shit. I forgot to actually get gas at that gas. There's no turning around. There's no turning around. It's too late. There's no turning around with this thing. There's no U-turn option. That's funny though. That's pretty cool. Oomga Bungalow Concrete Rat Cult. Who came up with this? Who thought of this idea? Whose idea was this? Terrible. Is it Oomga or Omga? Because I see some with O's and some with U's. Oomga. How are you doing today, honey? Man, I'm doing awesome, actually. I started stream kind of early today just because I didn't have anything else to do. Made a concrete cult. The others took it over. Oh, so it's a mutiny situation. Okay. Well, congrats on your mutiny. I'm sorry for your loss. I recognized rat. Thank you very much. Bro, why would you merge into me? I had that lane. That was all me. Y'all saw that, right? Chat, when my insurance company reaches out to me later, I'm gonna need all of y'all to write a statement because that guy merged into me. We're taking a right up here, so we're gonna exit. Oh no, this naturally curves over. There's like a cool overpass thing. Ace Lava, thank you so much for the lurk. Appreciate you, buddy. You got merged into because you're not in the Oomga. Oh, oh my god. I cannot read and drive. I tried taking over TikTok too, but failed. That's fair. TikTok's a different beast. Sprinkle of communism, you know the drill. As you should. As you should. Got merged into because you're not in the Oomga Bungalow. Oh my god, I'm swerving. Oomga Bungalow Concrete Rat. I'll join. How do I get in the cult? How do I join? How do I get the... Put me in, coach. I'm gonna have to get over. This guy's gonna try and get here. Also, I got you the hydrate. Daniel, thanks so much. Gotta put my drink down in the middle of a turn. You're in? Heck yeah, let's go. Love to see it. Also, I think it was Ybit that brought this question up earlier. I appreciate you asking this. To anyone wondering, the chat is, you don't have to be 18 plus. It's the 18 plus tag is more to let you guys know that I'm an adult and there's adult conversations in the chat sometimes. I know you guys are used to Sparks, who's a bit more family-friendly, but, you know, we curse like sailors and we talk a lot of crap in this chat, so it's just more of like a general warning. I do have to take the 18 plus out of the rules thing because I don't really, like, I don't mind, but VCs and stuff are usually reserved to 18 plus. One for my own sanity. Oh, Static, are you heading out as well? Goodbye, Wrath. See you later. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. But yeah, like I said, the voice chats are usually reserved for 18 plus. But you guys are more than welcome to hang out and chat and keep me company. I appreciate you. Wasn't me, I swear, loads. No. Somebody was asking earlier if my chat is like 18 plus or only over in Sparks' chat. It was either you or somebody else. Somebody with a yellow username. That's all I remember. We are gonna need We're gonna need gas. I got an 1,100 mile trip and we're on half a freaking tank of gas. You kidding me? Oh my God. Also, if you guys are following me, make sure to hit the little bell thingy. Get notifications when I go live. We are live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single day. Some days we go a little bit earlier. Some day we're a little bit later, like 9:30-ish. Yeah, but we are live every damn day for the past like 2 months. Keeping this shit up because I am insane. Yeah. It's not a great time always, but we're still here no matter what. Wasn't me, I swear loads. Yeah, me too. My family, like, my heritage is French-German. I think I get the pass on that one. I think I'm allowed to curse. Especially with the French. Have you ever met French people? Yo, they curse like crazy. I guess we're gonna glide over here. I need to find where the next gas station's at. Honestly, I do need to find... Oh, shit. You know what? Can't break the simulation. Just slow down and grab my drink. I dropped it. Let me see though. Wait, actually, I do have to pause to turn on Convoy. Tonks, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the shit show. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. If anyone else has this game, by the way, the mod pack, I can drop the mod pack in chat, and you guys can join. You guys are more than welcome to join in game. Do you play SnowRunner? I actually, funny enough, I met Sparks because of SnowRunner, and I used to play. I kind of somewhat explained to Sparks how to play some of SnowRunner. But then since he was playing it daily, he got ahead of me really quickly because I had my own streams to do and stuff, and he would still be streaming playing it. So he got way ahead of me, and my trucks cannot keep up with some of the stuff you guys are doing. So I kept out of the way so you guys could join in and play with him. Also, Daniel, cheers to you. Thanks so much for the hydrate. I want to do like a little I want to do some green screen emotes and stuff eventually, of like when someone does a hydrate and I accept it, like a cheers or something. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but I like having like interactive stuff on my streams. Tonks says I gotta go to sleep. It's like 1:30. Oh wow. Have a good night. Thanks so much for hanging out, and thanks for the follow again. Appreciate you. Sleep well. We will see you again next time. And my phone alarm is going off. Whoops. Woo-wee. All right, let's see. 1:46. It is 8:46. I'm assuming a lot of you guys well, duh, because it's 1:46. I'm assuming a lot of you guys are either in like Europe / maybe Western Africa. I don't remember how the time zones are cut there, but yeah. Oh, it's raining. Oh, come on. Come on. I do have to remember for next time, when we turn on convoy mode, we got to get out of the road. All right, let's see. Where's the next gas station? It's going to be up here in Tucson. So we're going to want to hop off and get some gas in Tucson. 1:46 for me. Nice. Yeah, it's only 8:45 here, or 8:47, I should say. I like this purple color. Kind of matches me. Dang. I say that and then he leaves me. That guy hates me. He wants me dead. SMH. SMH. I'm about to leave him behind, too. Leave him in the smoke. I like this little dark green, too. It's pretty. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting into SnowRunner again, but I I don't have any progress on the PC version. All of my oh my god, my phone alarm's going off again. So all of my progress in SnowRunner is on console, like on my Xbox. And since progress isn't cross-platform, stupid, I would have to restart. And I had to restart when I moved from Xbox One to Xbox Series X already, and I was already in I was done with like 5 or 6 of the regions. So I had to restart when I started playing on Series X, and then I had to restart again. Like I'll have to restart again to play it on PC, and that's just too much work. That's so annoying. What are the dials? These are, I don't control what the dials are. It's just the ones that come with this mod, but I actually don't know what like half of them are, to be honest. I know that there's the speedometer, there's the odometer, gas, battery voltage up on the left. Am I supposed to get off here? I was supposed to get off there, but it looks like we're getting off down at the next stop. We passed it already. That'd be a very good 24-hour live. What? SnowRunner? Also, I've thought about doing a 24-hour live before, but I don't think I could justify it. Like, normally I average like 4 or 5 viewers. I think streaming for 24 hours for 4 people sounds exhausting. This sounds really mentally draining. It's a good idea. And like maybe I'll do a 24-hour once we get to I think like one of my current goals right now is to get to 15 subs so that I can unlock more emote slots. Maybe once I get to there, once I get to there, I'll do a 12-hour stream or something. The longest stream we've done in the past like year was only like 8 hours. And actually, ironically enough, that was last time that Sparks rated us, was during that long stream. You deserve more viewers. I appreciate that, Y-Bit. I really do. I beat myself up a lot, but I genuinely do appreciate the compliment. It's awesome. Let's see. OBS is so weird because you guys' chat message all have like a yellow box around it, so it's like really hard to keep track of like what I've read already, because it's still saying rated from Sparks. So I have to like look at every yellow box. It's so weird. Stream to viewers every day. Nice. What do you play? Oh, we gotta get off here. We need gas. Cannot forget the gas. I got hair in my mouth. Alright, let's see. Can we clear this? Nice, I didn't get a red light violation. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Ah, it turns yellow right as I get here. You know what? I don't care. I'm swinging it. Didn't even get a violation. Love to see it. Do need gas though. I'm sitting at like 3/8 of a tank. I love having a wheel. Having a nice, having a wheel set up and, having controllable buttons is so nice. I even actually, funny enough, so I have, just a normal... This is my just chatting thing. Also, don't mind my background. This is my closet right here. But on my wheel, I actually have a button that turns on my American Truck Sim OBS scene, which is pretty tight. Let's get the truck turned back on. I feel like the truck audio is kind of quiet. I don't know how I'm getting out of here. It's just not going to make that left turn. All right, we're going to go around this way to the right. No, sorry, I stream to 0 viewers every day. Gotcha. Oh, to be fair, I also stream daily, and I'm only pulling 4 or 5 most days, which is cool. I don't mind it. I like having a nice group of people. It's more so just like doing 8, 10, 12, 24, like super long streams with like low viewership. You kind of like, it can kind of be exhausting mentally a little bit. Because like as a streamer, you'll beat yourself up. You're like, is this even worth it? And usually the answer is no, to be quite honest. Usually the answer is no, but yeah, it just, I mean, it's fun. I love streaming. Like genuinely, I really enjoy streaming. So it's not like as bad for me, but it can definitely like, it can definitely be exhausting, especially if you don't have other stuff like going on that's helping you build money in the background and stuff. See if this truck will ever get up this damn hill. Get a screenshot. My truck looks pretty. That's why I've been doing other content. Like whenever I'm done with streams, like I've been editing my my stream VODs and stuff. I'm gonna be posting to TikTok and YouTube again here soon. You guys are more than welcome to follow both of my, you know, those other 2 socials, my YouTube and my TikTok, both of which have commands in chat. So if you do exclamation TikTok and exclamation YouTube, or exclamation TT and exclamation YT, all 4 of those work. If anyone wants to follow those. If you don't want to, that's fine by me. Yep, there's my YouTube. Nope, you gotta do exclamation. Forgot to do the command thingy. I do have 2 different TikTok accounts, but quite honestly, I think I'm just gonna use the main one now, and I'm probably just gonna get rid of like the Twitch one and just use my main one for both. Yeah, so that first one, the honey.vera, I'm probably gonna start using that one primarily, just for everything. Makes it easier to not have to like, because making TikToks is exhausting. Oh my god. Thinking of like original stuff to post every single day, or like however often you post. So ridiculously annoying. And tedious. Such tedious work. I'm doing that for 2 accounts. I'm good. I'm good. Well, I don't know though. I don't know. Like, I think hypothetically it makes more sense to separate them, because then like you don't screw up your algorithms and stuff, or like your viewer engagement. But like I said, making content for 2 different accounts is also so annoying. Can you follow me back? If not, it's okay. Maybe. I'll have to look. I don't follow a lot of people. I actually need to go through and unfollow a lot of people on TikTok, because my For You page has been really weird lately, and I don't know. Fun fact, your For You page is based on what you engage with, but it's also based slightly on what people you follow is based on. So if someone you follow is like liking a ton of like really weird stuff, it'll kind of start to creep into your For You page if you interact with that person a lot. Which unfortunately means that a lot of the weird stuff in my feed is probably from interacting with mutuals and stuff. There's like really weird stuff. Oh, I'm speeding. Oh, I'm speeding. No, I wasn't. I was doing 15 under. I thought I was speeding. I just saw the cop cars and automatically assumed I was speeding. I'm not gonna lie. I usually am. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I usually follow back people that are like actively engaging with me and stuff, and who like interact with me a lot, and also are 18 plus, because of the nature of all of my accounts. I usually only really follow people back that I know are like adult aged. Yeah. Afraid of rolling this truck. I rolled this truck earlier yesterday, So scary. So scary. Especially when I've got like 60,000 pound loads like this. I got the big ass long load. I need to have like an overweight one. I'm actually surprised I'm getting 4.5 miles per gallon. 60,000? Yeah, I think. Actually, I don't know what I'm pulling in this load. I was pulling 64 or 63,000 pounds of grain last night with these same trailers. After this, I might get my XL lowboy trailer and pull some, I don't know, silos or something. Something big. I want to pull some more big stuff. It's kind of fun. Oh my god, can my alarms please stop going off? I know. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry, bud. That's a lot. Yeah, it's a heavy ass trailer. Uh-oh. This guy's just broken down in the middle of the damn road. We're gonna be pulling off here. Hey, darling. Run to the tree. All right, where do I need to go? Do I have to wait for this guy to scale out? No, I can go to this one. All right, let's see. All right, let's turn the motor off. Let this guy do the inspection. 110,000 pounds. Vehicle's not in technical state required by law. You know what? I'm gonna drive my broken ass truck. You can't stop me. Try to stop me. What are you gonna do? I don't see no Department of Transportation trucks out here. I don't see you guys following me. Find me. Do something. Let's see. Can I get back over? Thank you. I know that I forced you to let me in, but like, thanks anyways. I'm gonna do this. I turned my blinker on after I merged. Whoops. It is what it is. My bad. I don't know where to go. I'm going left. A very patient driver, I see. I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. I wish I had a motion rig. It'd be so fun. Yeah, patience. I mean, patience is not exactly my virtue. You know, it's just. I learned how to drive in Florida. I mean, what do you expect from me? What really can you expect from me? Not shit. Be careful not to hit that Lamborghini. It's probably a good idea. I need to put a bigger motor in this thing. It is so slow. I'm like struggling to do 60 and we're going downhill right now. Hey, darling. Hey, darling. I don't know this song. I'm just kidding. Rather Low by Nick Shoulders. Oh, I love Nick Shoulders. I don't think I know this song, but I love this artist, so. Alright, can I get in here? You're gonna let me in. Oversteered there. I made it. Got it. Oh, shit. Ah! Got it. Too easy. Too easy. Meow. Meow. Yeah, 110,000 pound trucks aren't usually quick. Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck physics. I'm speed racer. All right, let's turn our truck. All right, with the Yui. I mean, this gearing ratio is definitely a little quicker, but let's see how it holds up on the highway. Because we are already in 6th, and we're only at 30 miles an hour. So that does worry me just a little bit about how she's going to handle once we get moving at some higher speeds here. So if I top out at 40 miles an hour, I'm going to be pissed. I was struggling to get 60 before, but I'd rather struggle to 60 than max at 50, you know? All right, we're at 6. Can we get up a gear, please? We're in 7th at 35. That's a little short. A little short for comfort. I feel like with my big ass heavy weight, I feel like I should have the beacon lights on. It'd be cool to have my lights in the background like flash and stuff. It'd be pretty tight. But unfortunately, unable to do that, brain froze. Don't know what I was trying to say. No clue what I was trying to say. In order. That's what I was trying to say. In order to get my lights to sync with my games and stuff, I have to have a Wi-Fi chip, and my computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth chip. So, unfortunately, some of the cool like raid lighting and stuff that some other streamers have, I can't do any of that. When we build another PC eventually, though, we'll have that stuff, but not right now. Get those Bluetooth USB things. I actually have one. It just doesn't work. Literally, it does not work for my computer. I don't know why. I plugged it in and it just endlessly gets stuck in an update loop. I couldn't figure it out. Also, though, the lights aren't Bluetooth. Like, they're Bluetooth to phones only for some reason. Like, I've tried them with an iPad and it doesn't work with an iPad. It's literally Bluetooth for it only connects to. I don't know how it works. It's so stupid. I got the lights for free though, so I can't complain. But it is definitely really annoying. We got some dude broken down over here. Shit, my bad. I hit that guy. Had to do what you had to do. Huh? Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Let's see. I'm gonna have to. Yep, no hesitation. Let's go around. I do also really want to play. Ironically enough, I used to play a lot of WRC, which is funny that I came across Sparks while he used to like play that and stuff. Because I used to stream that game like a year ago. I don't know. I got out of it. Actually, I didn't get out of it. My wheel, the motor on my old G923 burnt out, and it took me almost a year for Logitech to replace it under the warranty. So yeah, that was kind of the end of me playing racing games for a very long time, unless I wanted to spend $400 and buy another wheel. Too stupid. But yeah, WRC is very fun. I have a couple like second place world records on a couple maps. I had like When I used to play, I actually, like, every single night that I streamed, I would go for a different world record. And in, what is it, like the RC2 classes or whatever, like I had 9 different records. I was going for every map on each class and then like working up a class. But yeah, I was trimming some time off of some fucking records. Like, I was trimming time for a long time, but couldn't play for like a year. I'm sure if I played now, I'd be absolutely terrible at the game. Also, I used to really enjoy playing like car X drifting and stuff. And we might do some, now that we have a wheel again and it's all set up, I might get into doing some, we played BeamNG on keyboard last week or 2 weeks ago. It was all right. I see a top 50 on the daily challenges. I never even did the dailies. I just specifically focused on like certain maps, and I would nail into one map until I had at least top 3 on a record. If I was like less than a quarter of a second lower than the person above me, I had to go for it and go second place. But a lot of those first place like records, like they've got first for a reason. They lock it in. I couldn't beat a lot of them. But second place was totally fine by me, especially because I was just casual playing it. I say casual, like I wasn't playing like the same map for like 3 or 4 hours at a time sometimes. But no, like I was just casually, like I was just playing it because I enjoyed it, not because I like was sweating, you know what I mean? But it was fun. It was nice. I'm the type of person, like, I like to have something to look forward to and, like, grind towards. And so that gave me kind of something to do where I could just sit down and focus on something. And that's, I think, why I was doing so well with it, because I had something to focus on. But, dude, top 50 is pretty tight. My favorite was Italy. But I want to say there's like a Kenya map as well, right? On what is it, WRC 3? I don't remember which one I have. Yeah, I enjoyed the Kenya map. It was pretty cool. Kenya was tight. I liked that there was like some really, really hard corners. And I used to enjoy playing it with like rain, because that map is like, it's like all like clay mud, which is slippery as all hell. And yeah, it was pretty fun. The Italy map was cool. Kenya was cool. I'm trying to remember as well. There was this one map that I really enjoyed where there was like, it was like on the side of like a cliff or something, like Ireland maybe. I don't remember. But it was like tall black rock on the sides, and like these roads were like pushed right up to the edges of the rocks and stuff. So pretty. I'm so excited for Forza Motorsport, though. Them bringing back Forza Motorsport's so refreshing, because I remember like 2 or 3 years ago they just like straight up said that they weren't bringing back Forza Motorsport because the demand was like, everyone was demanding more of like Horizon, and that had me so upset, because I'm like, dude, like the only people that really want Horizon are the casual motorsport fans, you know, like the casual driving fans. Whereas like the people that get into motorsport, like the motorsport games, are like people that actually really enjoy driving. Because the physics on it were pretty fucking mint, honestly. The physics on Forza 7 were pretty solid. I also used to stream that quite a bit. Forza Motorsport 7 with like the F1 cars and stuff. I had, for a while, I had a world record on like top 10, not like number 1, but I had like top 10 place for like the Rio de Janeiro maps. forward and reverse because I would just lock in. I literally played that map for like 3 weeks straight at one point. And I was just locking in times, making sure I got the best, you know, the best cross time per like section or whatever. And I nailed that fucking track. It was mine. That was my track. It was cool though. I really enjoyed Forza's. I think my favorite Horizon was Horizon 2 though. Just like it had these really cool like canyons and stuff. Pretty tight. I didn't like the new map. I wasn't a super big fan of the Forza Horizon 5 map. I just felt like it was a little weird. Horizon 3 was pretty solid as well. Had a cool little town there. But I just felt like I mean, it's the point of it, but like the physics in the Horizon games were always a little bit arcadey, too arcadey for me. Assetto Corsa is fun as well. We've played Assetto on stream before, but I don't know. I never found anyone cool to play with. When it's like racing games like that, as opposed to like rally games. Like rally games are cool because like the point is to play them solo. But like racing games, like it's a lot more fun to play with other people. And I did not enjoy Assetto by myself as much as I did when I was like playing with other friends and stuff. Hitting the rumble strips on the side and it's like rumbling the shit out of my wheel. I've never heard this song. Whoa, shit. Whoa. Why are we all stopped up here? Oh my god. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Anyways, back to it. Yeah, what is this song? The Plank by The Devil Makes 3. I like it. Oh, this is the I know this band. I forget what song they did though. They went viral last year. Drank too much sweet tea. My body's trying to convince me that I'm tired. I'm not tired. So I bet. What else do you like to play? Like, in terms of, like, non-driving games, what all do you play? I think you said that you also play, Arma 3, right? Or is that somebody else? My face is itchy. Play a lot of flight sims? Oh, nice. I've never even tried the flight sim games. I would like to play... Shit. Ice sugar drinks combined with this fan like blowing at my feet. So cold. Oh my god. But yeah, I'd love to play like DCS or Flight Sim or something, but I'm the type of person, like, I hate playing sim games on keyboard or controller. Like, if I do it, I would like to do it properly so that I can actually like say that I've tried it and like enjoy my experience properly. But I don't have like a Hoda stick or anything, so I'll try it out eventually. It's very understandable. Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people get in and like try games on a keyboard, and like that's not what the game was built for. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the game." Because you're not playing it. It's actually supposed to be played. You know, like I don't want to say I don't enjoy the game and like unfairly judge the game based on like an experience that's incorrect. if that makes sense. I don't want to unfairly judge the game. Also, I just realized Swell Gecko gifted a sub to my admin account. Oh, that's funny. Literally, like, gifted a sub to my second account. That's pretty funny. BattleBit, let's go. I enjoy BattleBit. We played like 4 days last week of BattleBit. Just to do drops and stuff. Thinking about playing some more of it tomorrow. We were gonna play it tonight, either that or Call of Duty. I want to get some DMZ in. Haven't played DMZ in a couple days, and I'm getting the itch. But yeah, probably either BattleBit or DMZ tomorrow. Shit. VoIP and BattleBit is so fun. It's so good. I love when I go down and I just hear the other team like screaming, like victory screeching or something. Or like when you go down and you're like yelling for the medics and stuff. It's so funny. Whenever I die, if the other team like drags my body, I'm like, please don't do war crimes to my body. And they always just say some like stupid stuff in response, and it's so enjoyable. Or like I'll scream for the medic. I'm a medic! I need help! And I hear like the medic scurry over to help you. I don't know. It's just so stupid. Like it's so enjoyably stupid and like simple that it's amazing. Also, I want to try and do, I've had this fundraiser on my stream for a while. I knew eventually, like, I think I want to do some sort of fundraiser stream. I feel like would be kind of fun. But it's hard to do stuff like that when, I hate to keep talking about it. It's hard to do like a charity stream if you're like a lower account anyways. It just doesn't get pushed as hard, you know what I mean? But one day I'm gonna do some cool ass charity stream. I'm looking forward to it. So bad at BattleBit. Never had a positive KD. I think I had a positive KD like once. Other than that, not really. I've definitely had a couple games where I'll get like 8 kill streaks in a row. Oh, like a kill streak of 8 in a row. And I always feel so gross afterwards. I'm like, damn, that was sweaty. Oh, here's a nice Ford dealership. Those are pretty trucks. Just casually doing 65 through the town. I think it's a 45 out here. Ah, shit. I don't have time for that red light. I didn't get fined for it. Nice. We're running this one too. Didn't charge me for that one either. Do they just like not see me or something? Like, what's going on here? I'm not complaining. Maybe I was driving too fast for their cameras to pick it up. More kills with the RPG than all the other guns combined. Kinda love that. That's pretty fucking funny. I have like all of my kills are with the M4. I have like maybe 20 kills with the RPG. Sorry, I keep yawning so much. It's rude. Also, I'm not liking this transmission. The gearing is definitely a little quicker. I'm Just not enjoying it as much. Because it maxes out at 65. I noticed that. It doesn't go any faster than 65 at all. It's whack. M4 is good. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that the military has kept the M4 for like a billion years. It's because it's good. You know, like, it's a solid platform. Also, the reason, like, on BattleBit, I just want the pink camo. Like, I just want it, you know? I need it. I need it. So I've just been, like, been chilling, just grinding away, trying to get my kills up, because I need the pink. I gotta have the pink. I have pink on I have the pink on, like, almost all of my guns in Call of Duty. The pink skulls one specifically. The pink skulls go hard. Actually, specifically, the pink camo is the reason why I bought Modern Warfare 2. I had initially downloaded Warzone to play with one of my friends. And, yeah, I was like, oh, you can customize your guns. That's pretty cool. And I was, like, looking at the camos. I was like, there's a pink one. But it requires you to grind a specific gun. And I looked at the challenges. I'm like, I'm never going to get these challenges done on Warzone. So I bought Modern Warfare 2 specifically to grind the PDSW so that I could get the pink camo and play with the pink gun on Warzone. It's a true story. It also shows that I'm slightly not super financially stable, but you know what? We're not going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about haha funny pink gun. Shit, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? Come on. You saw me? Come on, man. But yeah, we love pink in this house. That's why all my emojis are pink. Also, fun fact, I don't know if you noticed, the pink on my truck is the exact same pink as my emotes. Like, it's the exact same pink. Because that's also the colors of my website. All of my stuff is the same. It all matches each other. Also, we're gonna whip this shit. Check this out. This is only slightly illegal. Don't count if nobody sees it, right? It's 4:30 in the morning. There's no cops out. What do you mean? It's only illegal if you get caught, just like this. Oh shit, this is not gonna end well. I'm gonna eat a fucking Lamborghini. Yep, I just ate that Lamborghini, dude. Rip, it's only $900. Exactly how the law works, exactly. Like, how you gonna stop me if I don't know what I'm if you don't know what I'm doing, you know? You can't pull me over if you don't see me doing anything. Lambos for breakfast. That would be a funny little emote or something. Yeah, see, I'm doing above 65, so it turns my motor off. So this thing has a limiter at 65. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Also, it feels weird that I've been streaming for almost 2 hours and it's only 9:30. Normally, I'm only like, because when I start stream, I usually have my starting soon screen on for about 10 minutes. So by now, I'm usually only about 20 minutes into my stream, and so I keep having to like remind myself of that as well when I'm like yawning and stuff. I'm like, my brain thinks that it's like 10:30 or 11 right now. How many calories is a Lamborghini? How much does a bull weigh? How much calories are in a bull? I feel like that's like a good basis answer, right? Here comes a Mustang. How many calories are in a horse? That's a good question too. How many calories is a Lamborghini? It's funny. How much glue can you make from a horse? A shitload. Probably. Ooh. Sorry, I got excited. This girl that I'm into, she Snapchatted me. Let's go. Let's go. It's not Crash, though. It's not either fucking Camaro, too. How much glue can you make from a horse? From like a standard... Male horses are called studs, right? That's horses, right? Stud is a horse term. How much glue can you make from one how much glue can you make from one stud? Kai, welcome back. How are you doing? Welcome back to the shit show. Thanks for the follow. I don't know if I say welcome to the shit show or welcome back to the shit show because you were here yesterday. Welcome back. Hello, friend. How are you? I hope you're doing well today. How goes it in the IRL trucker world? Did the mouse kill you today or no? I don't know what days you work. I don't even know if you work today or not. I don't know. What is this Amber bullshit on you? On your... Oh, I can't see. Can't see the bottom of that message because my cord. What is the Amber bullshit? It's the beacon lights. Because our truck is 110,000 pounds right now, so I've got beacon lights for the heavy load. BRB, okay. Oh! 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 Redeemed hydrate. Oh, Daniel, welcome back, buddy. How's it going? Daniel, aren't you supposed to be asleep? Didn't you say you were going to sleep? It's okay. I won't believe. I won't believe. If you're like me, it'll be like another... No? Who said they were going to sleep? My bad. I thought that was you. I said the time. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said it's like, what? 2:30 in the morning for you right now? We're gonna run this. We gotta run it. I can't stop that until $700. It is what it is. What time is it for everybody right now? I know it's 2:33 for Daniel. It's an hour behind for Kai. So it's 8:34 right now. Ybit. Oh, Ybit, you said you're from Florida as well, right? Don't say where you're from, but you're from Florida as well, right? If so, that is pretty cool. Congratulations on somehow living in the worst and best state at the same time. Scotland. Nice. I have some friends that are in Scotland. Well, 2 friends that are in Scotland. But they don't really come to stream anymore. They used to come to hang out and stream a lot when I used to stream Arma every day. But because that's all they play. But they don't come around anymore because we don't play Arma anymore. That is the unfortunate curse of being a variety streamer. Sometimes you'll have people come around for a while because you're like fixated on one game, and then they stop hanging out because you stopped playing that game. Well, that's fine. That's a gas station, but it doesn't show up on the map. That's weird. It's really weird that didn't show up. Unfortunately, I don't live in Florida. Who was it that said they live in Florida then? I remember someone said on Tuesday or Wednesday, somebody was saying they're in Florida. I don't remember who it was. Oh, are you in IKEA land? IKEA land. Where is IKEA land? IKEA land? What does that mean? Sweden? Wait, how is it? Oh, 334. I read that as 834, so I was kind of confused. I'm not gonna lie to you. The curse of tiny chat once again making it hard to read. Sweden. That's cool though. We have another person in our, like, one of our semi-regulars. His name is Yoshi. He's a teacher in Sweden. He's actually a Swedish teacher. So that's pretty cool. Maybe he's one of your teachers. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, he's cool. He was just in chat the other day. Now I have 2 Swedish friends. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So far, we have 2 Swedish friends. We have 3 total people that are in Scotland. I think 1 person in Ireland, but I don't think Davey's in chat anymore. And then we've got 1 person in Hong Kong. If you guys have met Cowgirl before, we love Cowgirl in this house. I don't remember where Wadu is from. Wadu speaks another language, but I don't remember what language it is. I'm trying to think of where everyone else is from. Oh, we have 1 person from New Zealand. That's pretty cool. We only have 1 person in New Zealand. We have 1 person in Australia. They live in Gold Coast. Where else? Where else? Where else do we have people from? I think that's it. I think like the rest of everybody's in the US, as far as I know. Oh, we have Sparks, obviously. I think he's in... I don't remember where he's at in Canada, but he's somewhere in Canada. Canada land. I'm gonna run this. Whoops, it happens. Who else? Oh, D Commanda is in... Well, no, D Commanda's from Mexico. Where he speaks Spanish. I don't remember if D Commanda said that his family is from Mexico or if he's from Mexico. But I remember that him and his friend from the other day are from the middle of Mexico. Oh, these guys just got in a car accident. That sucks. Alberta. Oh, yeah, he is in Alberta. I have a ton... Oh, you know what? I have a ton of friends that are in Calgary as well. But I don't think any of them are on Twitch. It's a bunch of friends from Facebook, funny enough. It's only illegal if you get caught, right? It's only illegal if you get caught. That's what I gotta remind myself. Shit, that's a cop. Run. No proof. Who else? I'm trying to think. This is actually kind of entertaining because my memory is so bad that like it's not normal for me to remember this much off the top of my head. So it's kind of like a nice little exercise for my brain. Oh, Daniel, you missed. We were talking earlier. What kind of games are you into, Daniel? What do you like to play? Racing games, not racing games, pretty much anything. Would love to hear you. Oh, also, City Skylines. We are a big City Skylines supporting group here. Memory can be improved. Yeah. there's a lot to that statement. Unfortunately, a lot of my memory problems are caused by head trauma. And also, mental health issues can cause issues with memory as well. So that contributes to my memory. And a combination of both is not fantastic. Oh, hello. Hello. Let's do some illegal shit real quick. Retro. Glad that turned green. I didn't want to get sued. It happens. They can talk to my accountant. That's cool. Yeah, City Skylines is great. I had a city that I had like almost 250 hours on, and I decided to restart it just because it was too big, and I wanted to restart and try it a little bit differently. And then I restarted, and I got about 30 hours into it, and then my PC just kaplunk. So I lost that save, and it's been really hard to convince myself to restart a third time. Well, actually, the city that I put like 250 hours into was after I had lost my Steam mods like corrupted, and so the save game got corrupted. And so I lost a different city that I had like almost 500 hours into, or like 400 hours or something. And so yeah, we stopped playing. We stopped playing that one. And then we restarted. I don't know. My cities always look like shit. No, mine are crazy. I am unfortunately way too neurotic about my cities. Maybe I'll have to like start. I've been thinking about doing like a city skylines. Like, I had a thing on my calendar called Skyline Sundays, where I would just play city skylines every Sunday. Maybe I'll start doing that again. It's a nice like way to like restart like the vibe, you know, like it's a good way to like restart the energy of like the week. I need to start like scheduling stuff a little bit better and like sticking to an actual schedule and making sure that I'm playing like the right stuff every week. Because I've like set up stream schedules to play like specific games each day, and then I like just I don't know. I don't always want to play that game on that day, so then I just screw up the calendar and then end up not playing the other games. like I was not supposed to play Truck Sim tonight at all, but I decided to because I'm excited to have a wheel running again. I like Farming Simulator, SnowRunner. Oh shit! 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 Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat. Let's get back on the road before we look at chat. Shit. That just gave me 14 damage. Oh my. SnowRunner, GTA 5, House Flipper, and Fortnite. I hate Fortnite. I'm not gonna lie to you. I played for like 10 minutes one time, and I got into a public lobby, and someone with like Chinese characters in their username like built a fucking castle around me in like 0.5 seconds. And then just slaughtered me, and I was like, yeah, I literally uninstalled right there. I was like, I don't want to play this game at all. Oh god, he's gonna merge into me. Yeah, that guy just fucking merged into me. Yeah, I need to go over here somewhere. But yeah, I uninstalled. Dude, it took me getting killed by like a Chinese username one time, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm fine. Thanks, though. Can this camera please stop? When it's based on my hands, so the command to move the camera is like an open hand, and so it reads my fingers on the can as an open hand, and so it starts tracking my face, and it's so annoying. Gotta go to sleep. Bye. Thanks for hanging out, Wybit. I appreciate it. Come back to talk to me later next time. Good talking to you as always. I don't play it much, mainly Farming Sim and SnowRunner. Yeah, I really enjoy SnowRunner. Farming Sim looks fun as well. I've just never played it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Of course, good night. Take it easy. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. Good night. Sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep well. I don't know why I said it like that. Sleep well. But yeah, good night. Sleep well. Take it easy. See you next time. I think we're going to go for a 3-hour stream tonight. So we'll probably be on for about another hour. Maybe a 4-hour. It depends. 3 hours seems to be a good little mark for me, though, without wearing me out too much mentally. But we are at 2 hours right now, so we got at least another hour in us. Daniel, have you ever played any like racing games like WRC, Motorsport, Assetto Corsa, CarX, any of those? And if you have, did you enjoy them? Do 4 hours, we're enjoying this? No, it's more of like a tired thing. I get really like exhausted streaming for too long. Mainly because I've drank 2 energy drinks already. And hypoglycemic, sugar makes me really fucking tired. Sugar makes me really tired. Sugar and energy drinks, I should say. And I've also had 2 sweet teas. LOL. LOL. Played Forza, WRC, Gran Turismo. Shit. You're gonna kill somebody out here, man. I'm doing less than the speed limit, and you still pull down in front of me like that. Forza is great. We love Forza. Forza Motorsport 7, I spent a lot of time on. And I cannot wait for the new Forza game to come out, because I will be having it on Game Pass day 1. I will have it installed. And I'll be probably grinding for an F1 car, because I really used to enjoy doing F1 races to get like the best time on maps and stuff. So we'll probably be doing that again as soon as the game comes out, is working towards F1 track time top scores. Also, I'm glad that you enjoy it, the stream. I appreciate you hanging out. You guys are awesome. I love the community that Sparks has like made. You guys are all like, I genuinely don't think I've ever seen anyone be like toxic, like ever in chat. And I've spent a lot of time in Sparks' chat, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone be shitty, like genuinely shitty. Like I know that you guys like bully him and stuff. I like to bully him too. That's how I show my affection. Biting and bullying. No, but for real, like I don't think I've like ever seen anyone actually be like genuinely like shitty to anyone else in the chat or to Sparks, and I like that. I appreciate him bringing some of his community to my channel and like to my community as well. I think it's pretty neat to like shit, dude. Why did you get in my way while I was doing illegal shit? Come on. But no, like it's really appreciated to like have you guys here and, you know, meet new cool people. You've been streaming for 2 hours already? Yeah, man. We started at 7:30 today instead of 9 o'clock, just because I felt like streaming. I didn't have anything else to do. I didn't feel like editing VODs more today, so I just took out what I needed to. Did what I had to, you know? Cowgirl, how are you? How are you doing today? just woke up. Nice. Nice. Congratulations. Oh, also, Daniel, when I was talking earlier about cowgirl, this is the cowgirl that lives in Hong Kong. Among all the other people we have in like weird various places across the globe. So it's pretty cool. It's nice having people from different areas. I need to find more people in cool places that'll teach me stuff in different language. I used to talk to this girl that was oh, where was she from? Oh fuck, what is it? It's Hong Kong isn't cool like it used to be. No, it's in southern England. It's a really small country, and there's not a lot of people that speak the language, but I was learning it because I thought this girl was hot as fuck and I wanted to learn. I'm doing some illegal shit. And there you go, look at that. Getting in the left lane takes away the red light. Fine. Oh shit, my engine just died. Fuck the English Scottish all the way. Rip. No, it wasn't Scottish. It was shit, it's gonna piss me off that I can't think of it right now. Welsh. I started learning a little bit of Welsh because I thought this girl was hot. True story. Dewey E. Honey. I am honey. Let's see. Can I make this corner without clipping my trailer? Irish? No. Unless you're asking Daniel, in which case, I don't know. No. Welsh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I fucked up. I fucked up. We weren't supposed to hit that tree. We're not supposed to hit the trees. Yeah, see, he's Scottish. And I was talking about Welsh. So, no matter which person you're asking, no to the Irish. Which, ironically, might also be Daniel's just general statement about the Irish. No to the Irish. Let's see. Enter, unload the trail. See if I can whip a Yui right here. Let's go. And you know what I'm gonna do? Meow. Right into traffic. No regard for anyone around me's safety. Sweet tooth is hurting. Let's go. Oh, I got it. What are you gonna do? Stop me? Absolutely not. Can't stop a bad bitch. Alright, which trailer am I needing? Oh my god. Your fucking silo is actually gonna block the whole fucking thing. Genuinely, I don't know how I'm gonna get this fucking stupid fucking trailer out of here. No fucking clue. Because dumbass fucking silo is gonna be in the way. Although, actually, it's two and a half hours. I'll go for another 30. That's fine. I think we are going to call it at 3 hours today, though. Do you have to air down just a little bit? Air out on the haters. Air out on the haters. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Let's yank this shit out of here. I don't like pulling singles. Especially pulling singles on a 500 fucking mile trip. I feel like it's a waste. How long is this trailer? A fucking boring ass single, dude. Look at this shit. Doesn't even try to kill me if I yank it around. What's up with that? Also, are you... Kai, are you in the server yet? No, you're not. Pick it up. No, I'm just kidding. You're good. Take your time. We'll see though. This is probably the last convoy mission for the night though. We will say. Because I do kind of plan on wrapping it at about 3 hours. I think that's a good healthy amount for tonight's stream. Excuse me. I think 4 hours is probably more ideal, but I think three's fine. Yank it. See, if I had a triple trailer, it would have balanced itself out. I wouldn't even had to worry about if I was going to roll over or not. Let's just do some dumb shit while we're here. Truck is running out of fuel. No, it's not. It'll be fine. There's not gas anywhere fucking near. Shit. You know what? We're gonna get off to the right and go down to Brownsville to get gas. Is this a Wawa? No, it's not a Wawa. It is just a red gas station. Not even a gas station. It doesn't have fucking diesel. Come on. Fuck you, Domino's. Fuck you, Domino's. About weight transfer, baby. Pow, pow. I'm having way too much fun with that. Brought me plans, but I don't. Ah, shit! I've lost my. Ah, shit! I lost my steering sensitivity. There we go. Force feedback is back. Fuck, I was supposed to turn right back there. Shit. There's gas at Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi, goddamn. Corpus Christi. We just gotta remember to stop. Shit, I hope I remember to stop. I'm not gonna remember to. We'll see. Whatever happens, happens, I guess. You're doing a 3-hour or a 4-hour? I think I'm gonna stop at a 3-hour for tonight. It's like really cold in my room right now, and the sugar is like making me really tired. So I think I'm gonna call it 3 hours tonight. I think. Also, why do I have like a weird left pull? Oh, it's because I was driving half of my truck in the dirt. That makes sense. I didn't realize it pulls like that. No, it's still pulling to the left. See? It's weird. It insists on pulling to the left. Also, Daniel, isn't it like stupid late for you right now? Like 3:15? What? It's like 3:15 for you right now, right? Do you plan on sticking around until like 4 a.m.? Because 4 hours of stream for me puts you out at like 4 a.m. Do you plan on staying watching streams until 4? You're crazy. I can't say anything because that's the type of shit I do every time. But like, other people aren't supposed to do that. I'm the first one to tell everyone to make sure they get sleep and rest and all that, and then I don't fucking do that shit myself. What the fuck is sleep? Sleep is for the weak. And also for during the week. That was a really bad joke, my bad. Dude, if I run out of gas, oh my god, that's gonna be embarrassing. If I run out of gas after making a dad joke, I'm gonna hate my life. It's a cute little rest station. I need gas. Cross his fingers, you run out of gas, you're an asshole. You're so mean. Why would you cross your fingers for me running out of gas? I hope, for my sake, that I don't run out of gas. And then I get to bully you for being mean. Then I get to be mean to you for being mean to me. Yep. Let's see, where's the gas station at? It's gonna be up here on the left. Can I even cross the highway like that? Oh, I think it looks like there's a turn signal up ahead. Bypass the way station? No, I can't. I need gas. Stupid. Oh, shit. It is kind of funny, like, driving singles again. Driving single trailers is fucking weird. Driving single trailers is, like, really wonky. Because I was like, I'm not going to make this U-turn. And then I forgot, like, you can actually drive correctly with a single trailer. It's weird. And nice. $4.74 a gallon isn't too bad. Considering yesterday the price was $5.20 something. Fuck you, cowgirl. Didn't run out of gas. You are mean. I was actually probably really fucking close to running out of gas, though. It was on red for a long fucking time. I'm on a single trailer. I can thread the needle. Check this shit out. Oh, you're a curse and spit your face for eternity? Honestly, someone's got to do it. Everyone can't come in here and be nice to me, you know? Not everyone can come in here and be nice to me. I appreciate that a lot of people do, but not everyone can. Someone's got to be a dick. Also, I fucking changed transmissions again, and once again, I'm stuck with a transmission that maxes at 65. What the fuck, man? I need something that'll let me do like $120. Like, seriously. Am I mean to you and still stick around and like banning me? Good vibes, I guess. I don't bug it though. Tell Brandon we're coming to visit. We're coming towards Austin right now. Austin's nowhere near, but we'll be there eventually. Tell Brandon we'll be there in like an hour in game, like 30 minutes. Cheers to that. Excuse me. Yeah, fucking speed limit out here is 75 and I can't even get that fucking fast. This is so stupid. Cocaine. Kai, are you still playing? Where you at, Kai? I thought you were M97 code 69 or whatever. Code 3. Be fun to get military trucks in here and have it escorted by Humvees. That would be kind of neat. Do like a National Guard convoy. Be kind of tight. 'Cause they do those here, like the training, National Guard training convoys. They do that out near me all the time. In Florida, you'll see them cruising up and down I-4 once a month. For the inspection, go fuck yourself. I'm not slowing down. Absolutely not. You can't force me to. Cowgirl, is Brandon live right now? Check if Brandon's live right now or not, but I can't get my phone to turn on. Also, my new, I can't show it, but my new phone background is so nice. I'd get like insta banned though, but it's kind of cool to, it's cool It's a cool background for my phone. Is Brandon live? Brandon's not live. Damn, that's lame. Kristen's live though. His roommate. I think they're still roommates. I don't know. Scooty's live. Oh, baby Jess is live. Brendan isn't alive, but alive and well. No, I know. I was in his live earlier lurking, but he started stream like literally 10 minutes after I started stream. So I didn't get to go hang out with him, but I saw while I was getting ready for stream that he like you know how I usually have like my starting screen when I first start stream? I had the starting screen on, and then I got the notification on my phone that he went live, and I was like, shit, man. Slater Moon? Maybe. I don't know who's live yet, but probably. I don't know if anyone I know is even live right now. Also, we still got another like 20 minutes before we even get ready to raid out. We still got a minute. 200 miles. 200 miles stuck at 65 miles an hour. So we got another 3 hours in game before we get done. Also, I'm gonna need to get over. That guy's gonna merge. That guy's gonna merge. Shit. If he merges in front of me, I'm fucking taking out this piece of shit car beside me. There we go. Slow down. That's right. There you go. Come on over, semi. Oh, this is a left exit lane? Oh, shit. Yeah, I need to be over here. Headlight usage? Oh my god. Now you're telling me I gotta use headlights? What the fuck? I got a fucking fine for not having my headlights on. Oh my god. It's not even dark. Rules are rules? Yeah, the rules are fucking stupid. It's not even dark enough to need headlights out. Look at this. No difference. No difference in visibility. None. Only difference in visibility is that I can't see my fucking GPS anymore. It's just not dark enough. God, it's so hard to see my GPS now. $160 miles left. This is rough. I really don't like not being able to drive like fast at all. It's kind of fucking whack, to be honest. Oh, my bad. I'm blinding that guy. I have my brights on. Look how pretty my lights are in the front, though. The brights are also supposed to turn on the beacons under the, like at the bottom of the bumper as well. I don't know why that doesn't work. Anyways. Would you be down if we had a road trip with a bunch of friends? What do you mean? You mean like IRL? Because it'll be hard to daily stream if I'm on a road trip. To be fair. Yes, IRL. Also, road trips give me anxiety. I don't like being stuck in a car with people. That shit is terrifying. People are fucking annoying. Car rides always make me realize how much I dislike people and like certain traits of people's personalities. You hate me then? Fine. I probably would. Within a couple hours, I'd be like, holy fuck, dude. That's my toxic trait. Cannot be around people for like too many hours at a time or else I just get fucking annoyed of them. I like nitpick at personality traits, and I will find some way to dislike you pretty quickly. If I don't have the main thing is like if I don't have the option to leave, like that's why I like hanging out at people's houses or like having them hang out with me. I think it's just I'm too fucking autistic for this shit. Like I am way too autistic to be like stuck in social settings for like hours at a time. It literally drives me fucking bonkers, dude. She drives me fucking crazy. You're a horrible person, like it or not? Yeah, probably. Austin, look where we are. Look where we are. This is Brandon Town. This is Brandon Town. It's Brambo. Brambo. But a meet and greet? Who would people be meeting and greeting? Me? Why? Who the fuck would want to meet and greet me? Who? Why? Someone said driving a finger. That sounds terrible. Signing tits literally does not sound appealing to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm fucking weird. If I don't know people, I don't want to touch their tits. Sorry. You know? Like if I don't know you IRL, and I'm not like involved with you, I'm so weird. I'm so weird with like affectionate stuff like that, or like personal stuff like that. This is also like why I don't do like hookups or anything either. I'm very weird. Also, see, cowgirls, it's your fault. Talking about your tits and people left. SMH. Shit. Looked down at my phone and accidentally almost run that fucking car over behind me. SMH. Blame me as usual. It is your fault. You're the one that said it in chat. I always get blamed. I mean, it's your fault, so. Hate to say it, but when it's your fault, it's your fault. Alright, I'm done being obnoxious for a second. Just for a couple minutes. No, that's not true. Don't say that. That's not true. Don't say that. You gotta stop saying shit that'll get me canceled out of context. Don't Asian bait me. I'll make you as a horrible person. Genuinely, I will ban you in chat. I don't give a shit. Try me? No, you try me. Say some fishy shit. Say some fishy shit. I'll catch a fucking 2-week timeout or some shit. Create another account and hate raid you? Hate raid me. Help my viewership. Do it. Bring my average viewership up. Help me get a partner. Can you bring in like a couple hundred people? I don't know what Monka Steer is. I don't think the OBS chatbot thing like allows the thing. Redeem timeout? Wait, what are you redeeming timeout for? Are you trying to time out yourself? I'll buy you followers? Don't. Please. I don't want some like bullshit fucking hollow follows. I would rather have 100 followers with like 10 active like average viewers than like 1,000,000 fucking followers with like 4 average viewers. That shit sounds terrible. So, I don't know. Followers, friends, and stuff that my stream. I ban all of those. Whenever those fucking accounts come in my chat, I always ban the shit out of them. Also, my truck has a really bad left pull. I don't know if that's how my wheel is configured or something, but it's really bad. See, like, auto post to the left. Shit. I gotta get off in the right lane up here. Shit, I'm just having to fucking slow down and get out. GPS is supposed to tell us. Come on, bud. I'm walking here. I'm walking here. Meow. 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 I think Dan was gonna time me out. That's fair. Honestly, Dan is so real for that. Dan, I love that you just like came in and like immediately you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna time somebody out. Oh my god, that's funny. Oh my god, I should make a chat redeem that's called Horny Jail and it times somebody out. That would be funny as fuck. You just have to like at the person. That would be really funny. And I'm not mod. That's funny. I'm not horny. No fucking way. There's no fucking way. Kai, if you're here, fuck you for this fucking mod, dude. I literally cannot complete this job because there's a fucking silo. And there's not a quick finish spot for this mission either. Love that. Love that. Ram through it. I just tried and it gave me fucking like 4% damage to my truck. There's not like a quick park option here. There's usually like a little banner at the start of the yard. Can I go around the side of the property somehow? Then wait. Let me see if I can drive around the fucking building. I'm gonna literally just try to drive around the building. I don't care. Shit. That's a tree. That makes sense. Can I get mod? I literally only have one mod that isn't like my own account. I don't really have need for mods, to be honest. You ever have a dream when what am I stuck on? What am I stuck on? Dan, I've been here for a year. He's never gonna be mod. You horny chat. You send horny shit. Out of pocket shit. I offered you mod, and you even said, I don't know if that's a great idea. You denied it. And he said, because I was like, I don't know. Because you say some wild shit in chat. You're going to get somebody in trouble. It's my own words against my own. Exactly. You're really fighting your own demons right now. Bleep bloop. I don't know what button it is. Gabagool.
Gabagoo, Roger. What's your 20? Good, sir.
Walmart, Waco, Texas.
Walmart in Waco received. Watch out for the caddy.
I don't know if enough radio terms to roleplay this. Also, fuck you for making me use this fucking giant silo mod because it's literally blocking the drop-off point for this mission right now. There's genuinely no way for me to finish.
Sounds like a you problem, sir. Out.
You fucking lone rider son of a gun. Let me see if I can drive around the building this time. Forgot that's why I left the property and came back. I doubt it, but it's worth a try. Oh shit. I cheated. I don't think it's gonna let me do what I need to do. Nope. Alright, well that was worth a try at least. Oh, I can't even go around. Oh, shit. Fuck you, Walmart. Fuck you, Walmart. Who the fuck orders a silo from Walmart next day delivery? Come on, man. We're stuck. Shit.
Driver, come back.
What?
So I lagged out of the previous session. I'm trying to get back in. Over.
Gotcha. I might end session to take this fucking silo mod off.
Received, but like I said, what I could probably, it'd probably be a good idea to take it off. But what I could do is I can take it real quick, F10 away with the trailer, and then when you have your job finished, I'll cancel it.
Oh, I'm fully stuck in a fucking bush right now anyways.
Oh, message received.
Yeah, I tried to go on the outside of the property to like deliver to the backside, like to try and like wrap around the Walmart delivery place to get around that silo. It turns out there's some like really thick brush, and I'm in the brush.
Are you in it or on it?
Yes.
I see. This is an issue. But
I don't think I'm allowed to park
go
here.
ahead and